And welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. We're having fun right here on Channel 67's Open. Hey, you know, SOS South Bronx works to spread a message that will, well, violence will not be tolerated. Enough is enough. And joining us with all the details, we have Program Manager James Reddick and Hospital Responder Coordinator and Community Engagement Person, Marisol Rivera. You got a long title, Marisol. You got all those things going on.
She does a lot.
She does a lot, right?
She does a lot.
Throw it all in there. Bam, 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 bam.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. SOS.
Yes,
Save our streets.
Yeah.
Save our streets. Talk about it. We need it. I mean, this is another thing that we need to come together on and get out there and roll up our sleeves and, you know, just get the job done. Save our streets. And we need help.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when did you start this?
We started SOS Brooklyn in 2010. SOS Bronx came in 2012, and then Mauritania came in 2014.
You're hitting the barrels. Yeah. What made you want to start it? What happened?
Well, I'll say Miss Ife Charles and Miss Amy Ellen Bogan, they wrote a grant, and it was called Cure Violence, just to try to help these neighborhoods where their violence was high.
Yeah.
How can we bring it down? How can we get the resources out there to our young kids? So we work with high-risk kids from 16 to 24, and we engage them where they at, and we help them. But just go back to school, get a job, just to let them know them resources is there for them, but for the community as well, for our seniors, for everybody.
With a grant, you can hire a couple of them too.
Right. And that's the goal. The goal was to hire individuals from the community who was well known, who maybe had a troubled background in that community, so people respected them. And now we send them out there to stop the violence, to really interrupt violence happening between people. And now we're actually setting up a whole network of people that are looking at SOS as a savior of some type of way.
I can identify with that. Sometimes, you know, you're going to speak somewhere in an auditorium and you're waiting for your turn to speak, and the person that's up there, you know, you can check out the hecklers or the group of people in the back, people trying to, you know, act different, you know, and just bust things up a little bit. So I go up to them, I say, hey man, I need you to be a part of my crew. You know, you're part of my crew now, come on, let's go. And I sit them right up front, give them some BLS t-shirts or something, you know. Now you're part of this crew right here, and you can't act up because you're part of something. And that's basically that's what you're doing. You're getting those people who are acting up and who are standing out in the community, redirecting their message, saying, hey man, this is the guy to follow now, look.
Right.
He's a part of something, he's a part of it. And that's what people need to be a part of, or want to be a part of. They want to be a part of something.
Everybody
But make
wants
sure
to
they're
be a
part of something positive, because
Right.
somebody will grab you and
Yeah,
say, hey, let's go do this.
Yeah, that's the goal, to get them around something that's positive, change their norms by giving them new information from, like Marisol said, education to employment to just being around somebody that's positive and it can take you out of your environment that may be negative and bring you to the office and play some video games, talk to some positive people, because that's the aura, and that's what our community needs now.
Help them realize something different in life. There's something different out here.
Everybody
Check this
need
out.
help,
You may like
so.
this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you started, you said in 2010. How's it going?
I came
for
to
you
the
so far?
Bronx in 2014, so Mauritania was on the uprise at that point because South Bronx was already established. So John Jay did an evaluation on us to determine the violence before we got there and the violence after. And the records showed that it went down 40%.
You made a difference.
Absolutely, 40% decrease in violence in those areas where they were once very high.
Yeah.
So.
You have any success stories? Some people coming in that was like way on the other side of the fence, and you brought them in.
Absolutely. One of my participants, she actually had lost her children, and she was just she needed extra support. We helped her out with her, so she did the parenting class. She finished it. She got her kids back out of the system, got an apartment, got a job, and everything. So we definitely have. That's what it's about: helping our community, helping our young people, and supporting them. Because everybody needs help. Everybody needs help.
How does that make you guys feel when something like that takes place?
That's what keeps me in the job. That's what keeps me motivated.
That's what's all
When I walk down the street and I got a mother from the community or just a community resident, like, thank you, thanks for helping us, helping our kids, helping our seniors, helping. We don't turn nobody away. So our office is at 601 East 163rd Street. And if anybody needs help, they're more than welcome. It's a safe haven. They could come in there just to talk. We have legal aid resources. We got parenting class. We have GED preparation on site there. So you can't tell a young kid to put down a gun and don't have nothing to offer them or any resources. So our resources are very, very lengthy.
Yeah. Do you participate in the gun buyback programs and stuff like that?
No, absolutely not. Because our young kids, they got to have that secure and that safety net. So our leadership, our upper management deals with NYPD, not sharing information, of course, and nothing, but, you know, statistics and meetings and stuff like that. So James and I would take place in that, but our street team
Create a harmony between
No, absolutely. It has gotten way better.
Yeah.
Way better. If they see us now interacting in a crisis with our young people, they'll let us handle it, as if before they would want to intervene. So that relationship is definitely getting built, and it's definitely gotten very better.
Yeah. So you have the opportunity to talk to a kid saying, hey, you know.
Put the gun down. Put the knife down. Why do you feel like your first measure has to be violence? Why can't you talk it out? Why can't you mediate it? Everything is not just killing, because we killing each other. That's what I let them know. And at this rate you going, there's only two places. You're going to be in jail or you're going to be in dead. So which one you want to pick? Just go do things the right way. And if your friends or people you're around are telling you to do negative things, those are not your friends and those are not people you want to be around.
Yeah. Do you like to see more community involvement? Because, you know, back in the day, I don't know how far back you go, but back in the day.
That's an age question.
But I'm telling you, parents used to be able to connect with other parents and they gave them permission to reprimand your child. But that's kind of unheard of today. But everybody looked out for one another back then.
It's a different generation.
It is. It is.
We got to bring the village back to our conversations, and just this past week we had a sort of an intergenerational event where we brought young people and adults together to discuss how we can better communicate and be one with each other in the community. That event was actually called We Are One, and we got young people and adults to talk about things that we can do in a community, and we actually listed those things, and we're going to put those things in action.
Oh, that's cool.
So that we really can look at just bridging the gap and creating harmonious activities with adults and young people. So it was a good conversation, and that's where we need to go. We need to go back to the community where, yes, the young lady from the 10th floor can say something to my child if my child isn't acting right. Yeah. So we once we create those,
and let that child know, hey, she's able to say something to you. You know, don't cuss her out.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Once we create those connections, you know, it's going back to the harmonious way we were.
It's a little different with me and my participants and their parents, because we're on the same page. Yeah, so we'll jump them together. You can't go back to your mother and say, oh, Manager of S.O.S, she's being hard on me. Yeah. She's going to be even harder. But you got to create that dialogue and that relationship so the parents will trust you. They know that you mean well and not harm. So
sometimes kids come back later on and say, hey, man, thank you. You knew they grew up when they came back and said, hey, thank you for what you did, you know, when I was 10 or 11, 12, 13, 14.
18.
18. To bring it on.
At 18,
22.
So, definitely.
Yeah. But, you know, thank you for all your service. You know, thank you for what you're doing. We need more people like you.
No, thank you for having us on the show.
There's 22 sites all over the 4 boroughs.
Yes, right.
Named different names, but doing the same work we do.
Right.
Yes, I'm with you.
And it's international, so it's all over the world, really. Cure violence.
Right.
So
beautiful. Love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Continue doing the work that you're doing. We're with you every step of the way.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Now, you have a website too?
Yes, Save Our Streets Bronx on Instagram, Save Our Streets Bronx on Facebook, and on Twitter. So.
All right. You guys into sports?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I got Bobby C coming up next. Look, he has everything in the world of sports. He's going to hook you up. And sit back, kick off your shoes, and check this out. We'll be right back with Bobby C. Sports Roundup next.